Hi guys, it's Uga and welcome back to another video. Today I'll bring you my review for Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. This is book 2 on the Shepherd King series, or duology because it was only 2 books, and is a sequel for One Dark Window. So I got my copy somewhere because I got my Fairy Loot copy and I read it. I have a review on my Instagram. I was not still on booktube. I was not coming back to booktube yet, but I did a review there. I don't think it's very long, you can read it, but I gave it, I think, 4 or 5 stars. I really enjoy it. And briefly, I will explain the story of the first one, why I liked it, and then I move very fast to what I thought about the sequel. So the first book is the introduction to the story. There is this land that is involved on a mist that poisons people, or it kidnaps people, and it's kind of magical. It can give magical ability to people. They have black veins and they start having this fever, and they can die or they can live, and if they live they start having magical abilities. They are hunted and killed. There is this deck of cards called the Providence cards. If you tap them 3 times they give you some powers. The mirror makes you invisible, the chalice makes you tell the truth, you have the sight to compel people to do things against her will, a nightmare goes inside your head, and there's one missing card, the Twin Alders. So if you reunite the deck you can lift the mist and things like that. So our main character is Elspeth, and she was contaminated as a child, so her magical ability is to have a little voice inside her head, and we understand then what is her magical ability, but to briefly, she has something inside her that's not very good. And she's caught in this web of treason to try to collect the deck and to end the mist. I really enjoyed the first book. I thought the writing was amazing. I listened to the book, it was very good. I liked the action, the characters, the setting, the plot, the magic. It really reminded me of Caraval with the series with the deck of destiny things. So I really enjoyed the first one, and I was really hyped for the second one. And when I got an arc to read it early on NetGalley, I was like, I need to read it. So I finished this around the time it was released, like a few days after. So I was very hyped and I was very pumped. I think it's not as good as the first one because of the POV choices. So in the first one I think we only follow Elspeth. I don't recall totally. I read it in July, so it was some time ago. But in this one we have the Elspeth's perspective, the Raven, which is her love interest perspective, and then we have Elm perspective. And Raven and Elspeth are on the quest to finding the Twin Alders and to collect the deck, while Elm stays at the palace because things happen. He's the prince. And I think that the chapters of Helm didn't grew on me until the very end when he was important, because until the point he was important I almost didn't care because it was a romantic line plot and I didn't enjoy it as much as the others, because the others were in the actual quest with the actual magic, solving the actual problem, and I was like, I need to for that action, I don't need to for this type of action, let's move on to the next chapter. I think this is why it took me a little while to read it, because I knew it was coming, Helm's chapter. I was like, oh, come on, what's gonna do now? I don't care about you. Give me something to care about you, because you're not a bad person. You're not a bad character. You're just not that interesting for me. So, I think that if it was shorter, or if it was a little bit more action in the Elm's part, it will be interesting for me. But since it wasn't, I think it was not the best as I hoped. Now, if you remove that, and if you talk about the quest, and then in the end was amazing, although I was not fan of the epilogue. I don't tend to like epilogues, it really depends. But besides that point, the end of the book is what I wanted, because it's like the conflict, it's like the resolution, it's like the fight. That's what I wanted for. So I think if you can move past Helm, if you continue to care about Raven and the quest and reuniting the deck and the Twin Alders, and I think one of the things that I thought was very interesting, side note, is the backstory we get. I don't remember in the first one to get that much lore about the cards, about the world, about the Shepherd King. So I think in this one we got more in depth in that. I got more of his backstory about the creation of the cards, the magics, and I really liked that. And that's what I really liked. I think that was the only part in Helm's chapter when he discovered new uses that I was like, that could be interesting. That is very, very interesting. But still not convinced. But besides that, if you push back Helm and if you continue with the story, it's worth it. I really like the duology. I think the characters are very well designed, very well written. The dynamic between them, the concept of it, about the magic, the mist, and everything, I think it was very, very good. I don't know, I think as a duology, I think it worked very well. It doesn't need to be a trilogy. I think that was the right choice to make a duology. You have the first one, and then you go to the second one, which is very close together. The story flows between one or the other very good. I think the characters maintain their authenticity. You don't need more. I think it's perfect as it is. Now, if the author wants to do a prequel only about the Shepherd King, although we had the story, I wouldn't mind, because that time would be amazing. Because his story is amazing. But if we don't get it, I'll be happy. I don't need any more sequels. I don't need any more torments. I think the story is over, and I liked it. I don't think could be an open end for that. Characters are happy, so everything is fine. It's not the best, but it's very, very good. I recommend it. I was scared because I was not having luck with Illumicrate, and especially Fairy Loot Speaks for the YA. And I was like, this has a very good high rating on Goodreads. The first one, I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. And then I loved it. And then I got the second one, I was like, I like it, very good. So it was a very good pick for the book. Very different for what we expected. Has a character, has a story, as even in age. Because it's not your typically YA. I would say it's closer to the new adult. You know, it's not steamy, but it's very... They are older characters, and that's what I appreciate, because they don't do as much dumb decisions as the other make. So that's why I liked it. Also, so yeah, I really recommend you pick one Dark Window first and then 2 Twisted Crowns, because it's a duology that is worth it. And being only a duology is very fast read. I don't know, I think they don't have more than 500 pages. Let me check. If they have, they don't reach. Let me see. The sequel has 368 pages, and I think the first one doesn't have. It's more or less the same. So yeah, 399. So one page short of 400. But it's worth it. It's a time that it's passed very well. The first one flows very well. The second for me didn't flow as well, but it was very good. So I totally recommend. It has my seal of approval for this duology. I will see if I read more of the author's work in the future, because if it goes to a younger setting, I will not like it. But if it goes to an older or mundane, my phone was about to fall. But if it goes to a older setting, I would really appreciate it. So yeah, this is my recommendation. This is my brief opinion about 2 Twisted Crowns and a little bit of One Dark Window. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Tell me in the comments if you read the first one, if you're excited about the second one, if you're not gonna pick the first one because you like what I said about the first one. Tell me all in the comments. I post videos at least once a week. I have book clubs down in the description if you want to join. One is quarterly with quarterly picks, so it goes by quarters of the year, and then the other is a subgenre book club. So every month we go to different genres, and I think it's very fun. We have a lot of fun in the lives. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in my next video, okay? Bye!